Hello YouTube, Shiny Starmie Studios here, and welcome to episode 9 of my Universe Sandbox 2 series. In this episode we're going over the top 10 stars with the largest radius as of early 2020. Before we start, all 10 stars have considerable errors in their solar radii, so these positions are not set in stone. With that out of the way, let's begin. Number 10, VV Cephi A. Fast facts about VV Cephi A. 5,000 light-years from Earth in the constellation Cepheus. It's an M2 class red supergiant star. It has an eclipsing binary partner, VV Cephi B, and is actually losing mass to said companion. VV Cephi A is 18.2 times solar mass, 1,400 times solar radii, 200,000 times solar luminosity, and has a surface temperature of 3,826 Kelvin. Number 9, AH Scorpii. Fast facts about AH Scorpii. 7,371 light-years from Earth in the constellation Scorpius, M4 or M5 class red supergiant star, and the circumstellar disk around AH Scorpii contains oxygen, silicon dioxide, water, and hydroxide ions. AH Scorpii has an unknown solar mass, so likely between about 10 and 25 times solar mass, 1,411 times solar radii, 330,000 times solar luminosity, and has a surface temperature of 3,682 Kelvin. We have two stars at number 7 with the same radii, KY Cygni and VY Canis Majoris. Fast facts about KY Cygni. 5,000 light-years from Earth in the constellation Cygnus, M3.5 class red supergiant star. If not for all the dust between KY Cygni and Earth, KY Cygni would be visible to the unaided eye, which I think is really cool. And it has one of the highest known rates of mass loss. By contrast, VY Canis Majoris is 3,900 light-years from Earth in constellation Canis Major, so 1,100 light-years closer. It's a M4 class hypergiant star. At one point was considered the largest star by radius, which is interesting, and potentially will evolve bluewood and become a Wolf-Rayet star as it continues to age. KY Cygni and VY Canis Majoris are both 1,420 times solar radii. KY Cygni specifically is 25 times solar mass, 138,000 times solar luminosity, and has a surface temperature of 3,500 Kelvin. VY Canis Majoris is between 17 and 25 times solar mass, 270,000 times solar luminosity, and has a surface temperature of 3,490 Kelvin. Number 6, RSGC1-F01. It is 21,500 light-years away, approximately, in the constellation Scutum. It is an M5 class red supergiant star, and is one of 2 stars in this list from the recently discovered red supergiant cluster. RSGC1-F01 is between 16 and 20 times solar mass, 1,435 times solar radii, 263,000 times solar luminosity, and has a surface temperature of 3,450 Kelvin. Number 5, HD143183. Fast facts about HD143183. It is 6,850 light-years from Earth in the constellation Norma. It's an M3 class red supergiant star, part of the normal OB1 association, and is surrounded by a dozen early-stage stars and a 1/3 light-year across circumstellar nebula. HD143183 is 20 times solar mass, 1,470 times solar radii, 316,000 times solar luminosity, and has a surface temperature of 3,560 degrees Kelvin. Number 4, RSGC1-F02. Fast facts about RSGC1-F02. It is also 21,500 light-years from Earth in the constellation Scutum, and is an M2 class red supergiant star. It is the larger of the 2 stars in this list from the red supergiant cluster discovered in 2006. RSGC1-F02 is between 16 and 20 times solar mass, 1,498 times solar radii, 363,000 times solar luminosity, and has a surface temperature of 3,660 Kelvin. Before we get to the top 3, it should be noted that, due to the size ranges of all 3 stars, it is possible for any one of them to have the largest radius. With that out of the way, let's get on to the top 3. And taking the bronze medal is Westerlund 126. Fast facts about Westerlund 126. It is 11,500 light years from Earth in the constellation Ara. It is an M2 class red supergiant star and is part of the Westerlund 1 superstar cluster, which is a likely baby version of a globular cluster. We focus on the Westerlund 126 system. We may be watching the birth of a globular cluster. Westerlund 126's mass is unknown, but likely between 10 and 25 times solar mass. It's 1,530 times solar radii, about 320,000 times solar luminosity, and has a surface temperature of 3,600 Kelvin. Taking the silver medal on this list is WOL G64. Fast facts about WOL G64. It's 160,000 light years from Earth in the constellation Dorado in the Large Magellanic Cloud. It's an M5 class red hypergiant star. Or is it? Because there's also contradictory reports to state that WOL G64 may actually be just a red giant sitting in the Milky Way. But if WOL G64 is indeed in the Large Magellanic Cloud, it will be between 25 and 30 times solar mass, 1,540 times solar radii, 280,000 times solar luminosity, with a surface temperature of just 3,000 Kelvin. And taking the gold medal is Uyscuti. Fast facts about Uyscuti. About 5,100 light years from Earth in the constellation Scutum. It's an M2 class red supergiant star, and is another star that may be a lot closer and therefore smaller than initial observations. But provided that the data we have at the moment is correct, Uyscuti is the largest known star by radius, about 10 times solar mass, 1,708 times solar radii, 340,000 times solar luminosity, and has a surface temperature of 3,365 Kelvin. So, as of early 2020, that's the top 10 stars with the largest radius. Stay tuned for more Pokemon and Universe Sandbox 2 content. See you next time for more videos. Shiny Starmie Studios out.